So today we're going to continue with our 8-week challenge on the 8 parts of speech, and we're going to talk about adverbs. So let's dive straight in.
Okay, so adverbs. What is an adverb? An adverb is a word that describes a verb, an adjective, another adverb, or even a whole sentence. Let's go straight into some examples which will give you a clearer idea. So, Peter did not sing badly. Peter did not sing badly. Here, the adverb is describing the verb sing. Lisa is very quiet. Lisa is very quiet. The adverb in this sentence is, of course, describing an adjective. The race finished too quickly. The race finished too quickly. Here, the adverb describes another adverb, quickly. Fortunately, Katie recorded Adam's win. Fortunately, Katie recorded Adam's win. Here, the adverb describes the whole sentence. So we've established that adverbs often modify verbs. They describe verbs. This means they describe the way an action is happening. So, the dog barks loudly in the street. The dog barks loudly in the street. My cat waits impatiently for his food. My cat waits impatiently for his food. In these sentences, we can now see the way the action is happening, loudly and impatiently. Adverbs can also tell us how an action was performed. So badly, peacefully, carefully. They can also tell you when and where it happened too. So we arrived early. We arrived early. Or turn here. Turn here. So now there is something important that we must note when it comes to linking verbs. Linking verbs are, of course, verbs like appear, become, feel, seem, smell, sound, stay, or taste. These verbs are often followed by adjectives instead of adverbs. In these sentences, the adjective describes the subject of the sentence and not the verb, which is why an adverb is not possible. So look at these sentences. Karen seemed tired. Karen seemed tired, not tiredly. Max seemed angry. Max seemed angry. The wine tastes fine. The wine tastes fine. Okay, so let's look at adverbs with adjectives now. As I said, adverbs can modify adjectives and other adverbs too. Often the reason for the adverb is to add a degree of intensity to the adjective. So the dog is quite aggressive. The dog is quite aggressive. The word quite is used here to emphasize how aggressive the dog is. This book is more interesting than the last one. This book is more interesting than the last one. The weather forecast is almost always wrong. The weather forecast is almost always wrong. The adverb almost is modifying the adverb always, and they're both modifying the word wrong. Is my music too loud? Asked Craig. Is my music too loud? Asked Craig. My children are incredibly happy to see their father again. My children are incredibly happy to see their father again. I will be slightly late to the party. I will be slightly late to the party. Okay, so now let's look at adverbs used with other adverbs. So as we now know, an adverb can be used to describe another adverb. Chris can discuss the English language very thoroughly. Chris can discuss the English language very thoroughly. The adverb very modifies the adverb thoroughly by telling us to what degree. There are some adverbs that can modify entire sentences too. These are called sentence adverbs. They express the person's attitude to the content of the sentence, or it places the sentence in a particular context, like technically or politically. Sentence adverbs don't describe one particular thing in the sentence. Instead, they describe a general feeling about all of the information in the sentence. For instance, some commonly used examples are words like generally, fortunately, interestingly, and accordingly. So we would say, fortunately, we got there just before the meeting started. Fortunately, we got there just before the meeting started. Interestingly, no one at the auction seemed interested in bidding on the antique spoon collection. Interestingly, no one at the auction seemed interested in bidding on the antique spoon collection. Okay, so now we're going to think about the placement of adverbs. Whereabouts do we put them in a sentence to sound natural? It is best to try to place adverbs as close as possible to the words they are modifying. So putting the adverb in the wrong place can make a sentence sound awkward, or sometimes, unfortunately, it can change the whole meaning of the sentence. Be extra careful about the word only, too, which is one of the most often misplaced modifiers. Look at the difference between these two sentences. Harry only fed the dog. Harry fed only the dog. The first sentence means that all Harry did was feed the dog. He didn't pet the dog or pick it up or anything else. And in the second sentence, it means that Harry fed the dog, but he didn't feed the cat, the bird, or anyone else who may have been around. Now let's look at the placement of adverbs. When an adverb is modifying a verb phrase, the most natural place for the adverb is usually in the middle of the phrase. We are quickly approaching the end of the road. We are quickly approaching the end of the road. Max has always loved skateboarding. Max has always loved skateboarding. I will happily assist you. I will happily assist you.
Well, that's it. So now you know about adverbs. And next week we will talk about prepositions. Don't forget to press both of those like and subscribe buttons below so you get notified when the next video is released. As always, to accompany this video, I prepared some notes which you can download. So you just need to click on the link below in the description box and you can download it straight away. See you next time.